Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your timeless general reading. Today I'm using the Muse Tarot for you. I've already shuffled and the card already flew out. Ace of Voices flew out. So perhaps some truth needs to come out, some communication. We'll see. More cards, let's see. Knight of Emotions. Six of Voices. Six of Emotions. And then Knight of Inspiration. So let's see, 2 6s and 2 knights. So there's kind of like this energy of balance. Death is at the bottom. I wasn't sure if I wanted to look at the bottom yet in case I needed to shuffle more cards. But I'm going to take that too. Oh, 2 of Emotions. 2 of Emotions as well. And then, oh man, Muse of Materials. But under that is 2 of Voices. Yeah, there's something interesting here about balancing. Even because it's like the Knight of Emotions. What did I think? Why did I think like running away from your emotions? I don't know why I thought about that then. And then Inspiration. It's like, okay, if they're running to each other, it seems like an unstable energy right here. The fire and water seems very at odds with each other for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the horses or what. It feels like mistaking one for the other, mistaking passion for emotion and emotion for passion. But in what way? In what way? Well, 6 of Voices and then 6 of Emotions. So that's air and water energy. So it's like the 6 is the number of harmony. There's some disappointment. This card always gives me like a disappointment. I know it's supposed to be nostalgia in 6 of Emotions, but it always gives me the feeling of disappointment. Something not working out the way you thought. And then with the 6 of Voices, it's like walking away. Actually, the way that I just held it up, it looks like being nostalgic and disappointed about something that you walked away from in the past. And maybe in the past, your feelings, you're probably not clear on your feelings about it. Oh yeah, and that makes sense with the 2 of Emotions and the 2 of Voices. It's like you thought something was one thing. If this was like a connection to another person, you might have been told to walk away from it because it wasn't, turning away, told to turn away from it because it wasn't good for you. And that might have been true. That might have been true. But there's something about it that you're realizing, like you had your thoughts like you didn't have the right interpretation of your feelings in the past. That makes sense. Then this death card, it's like something about, and then awakenings also. Something that's happened recently has given you more perspective on a past situation. That you had your feelings mixed up in. What is a good example for this? So maybe what you thought, like for example, maybe what you thought was like a deep emotion or deep love was actually just like lust or just like very fleeting passion. And something you thought was like devoid of passion actually was like a deep emotion that you just weren't used to feeling, is what I'm kind of getting from that. And I feel like because of those two voices here and the two emotions, it's like you're projecting your idea of how the connection should have been, and also using like outside opinions or influences to reinforce that projection. Like when you talk to people about this, you might have already presented a view that you had come to conclusion on your own, and then just present it in a way where they just confirmed what you had already thought. And with this Mise of Materials, maybe you left to go concentrate on establishing yourself, like some kind of material achievement, career-wise, or something like that. But I guess maybe something that's happened recently, something's changed in you. Like this truth has come out. And like the fact that she's kind of turned away, but you can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. It's like this truth is a bit painful. And with the death card, I believe it's because it's a blow to your ego. That you might, well, you needed to walk away, you still haven't understood the true reasons why you needed to walk away, and you haven't really fully understood your feelings about the situation. Like you were a little backwards is what I'm getting. And right now I feel like these, if there are emotions coming up, they're like very inconvenient for you right now. But I think the important thing is, regardless of whether you shouldn't have walked away or you should have walked away, I think it's important to sort out what your actual feelings are. Were you mistaken? Were you seeing like a lack of passion indicating a lack of emotion, or passion indicating emotion when it didn't? You know what I mean? Mistaking water for fire, or fire for water. Fire for water, I'm getting more in this instance. Like the lack of passion in a situation. I do think it's a common tendency to mistake passion for emotion. I think that is true. Like if we don't feel the spark in something or with someone, then we believe like there isn't any emotions there. But that's not necessarily true, because as things go on and the spark dies, then obviously something is still there. It is a common problem, I think. Whether that's, I don't believe though, if that was the case with you, I don't believe that this means you need to go back necessarily, unless, I think it's all situations would differ whether you need to go back or not. I think the important thing is to sort out what was projection and what was outside influence, you know, because a lot of that has to do with your ego. And I think that's the whole point of the death and the awakening card to come out, that this is like another processing of your ego, or like the next stage of integrating, or whatever you want to call what we do with our egos, making them less reactive. I think a big part of that will be understanding what exactly you were feeling in the situation. Queen of Materials in the split suddenly. What you were feeling in a situation, and could you tell from now on? I think that's the important thing, because obviously if this is a person or situation that you left, if it's meant to happen, you'll get another chance at it. But I think this message is coming through now, this Ace of Voices, because if it's gonna come back around soon, you might not be in a position to recognize and not make the same mistakes that were made before. So I think it's telling you, this advice here is to really sit with it and decide, you know, what were you not interpreting correctly? What was projection? What was the opinions of others that you took on too easily? And then if something comes back around again, or you find yourself in the position to go forth in something similar, you'll understand. You know, it's like some wisdom has to be integrated from this experience. And it could have been a series of experiences too, like the Death card. It's like if you went through a major transformation recently, then this is kind of like integrating all the lessons. And that makes sense with the Awakening card, because that's the Judgment card. You're getting all the lessons because you're about to restart. And I did split and see the Fool at some point, but I just like ignored it. But that makes sense. Makes sense. Let's see. And I got the Goddess Oracle deck. See what comes out for there. Well, don't just flip. Oh, it's Yuki Onna in reverse. So Yuki Onna in reverse, Stillness. So I can't remember if it's like you're being too still or you're not being still enough. But either way, it's kind of telling you not to rush and kind of really sit in the energy and figure it out. Like, don't feel like time's being wasted. Do I have a card? Flip the other way. Yeah. Don't feel like you have to rush towards anything or not take the time. Yeah. I think this also means that. Not take the time. Like, timing's on your side. You know, that's why you're being let know now. And then Morgan, Death and Magic. So there is like a very like interesting death theme. It is like the next, wait, that was like your last reading, the next stage of transformation. So there is something really key here about anchoring your transformation is what I'm getting. Anchoring. Potential was on the split too. Potential. So I think this is like, don't rush. Take some time to contemplate. Don't be, don't try to make something happen. Take the time to figure out this energy. Take the time to figure this out right here. Your disappointment, your nostalgia, the past energy. Take some time. And don't worry about needing to make a move now. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Sagittarius. Thanks.